Many legends and tales throughout the ages written in the annals of time tell a story of a knight or a prince who is willing to lay down his life and go off to battle to fight for his bride and rescue her from the dragon who seeks to devour her. But where do these legends come from? In Isaiah 40:26 it says to lift up your eyes on high and behold who has created these things, that brings out their army by number. He calls them all by names, by the greatness of his might, for that he is strong in power. Not one fails. The word astrology is simply star words. The word astronomy is star names. We are commanded to look up. These star names must have been known at one time. Luke 21 says that the Son of Man will be coming in a cloud, that we are to lift up our heads, for our salvation, our redemption, it draws nigh. It's recorded in the heavens. Isaiah 41:20 says that they may see Ra'ah and to know Yada, and consider and understand together that the hand of Yahweh has done this, and the Holy One of Yisrael, he has created it. The word consider means to fix the mind upon, to look at closely, to observe the stars. To consider is with Sidus, the heavenly body, the star, or the constellation. When the Bible talks about his host, it's often in the context of his stars, his angels who are messengers from above, delivering to us a message of an epic saga. Psalms 103:19-21 says that Yahweh has prepared his throne in the heavens, and his kingdom rules over all. Bless Yahweh, ye his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, listening unto the voice of his word. Bless ye Yahweh, all ye his host, ye ministers of his that do his pleasure. 104 verse 4 of Psalm says, who makes his angels ruachoth, spirits, his ministers a flaming fire, like a star. Genesis 2:1, thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. The word host is sabah, which means an army, a war. A host or an army are his angels, his messengers, his stars. Tell the story night after night. They speak to us without words. He tells the number of the stars. He calls them by their names, which commands the sun, and it rises not, and seals up the stars. Is not this laid up in store with me, and sealed among my treasures in heaven? The stars are sealed, his treasures are sealed in heaven, as to whom is who. The Messiah tells us to keep our treasures in heaven. It says in Colossians that in him are all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge hid. The treasures of the heavenly empire are contained in the knowledge, in the knowing of the truth. To be a great warrior, one must be able to see, to have vision. 1 Samuel 9:9, formerly in Israel, when a man went to inquire of Elohim, he said, come, let us go to the seer, for today's prophet was formerly called a seer. A prophet or a nabi is a spokesman, a speaker. A spokesman will darash, that means to resort, to seek with care, to tread a place, like a walker. It's the seers and the prophets that would mediate on behalf of the people for inquiries of Elohim. The word inquire is darash. It's where we get the word midrash from, which means to study, to investigate. The word darash is spelled dalet, resh, sheen. The dalet is the door, it's the gate, the opening. The resh is the head, the chief, the first. The sheen is the teeth, the sharp, the cutting. This is how a Jedi goes to battle. With his sword in hand, he must put on the whole armor. With his sword he chases his enemies. A great warrior in the kingdom is someone who ra'ah, that has visions, that can see, that will consider, that will look at, to gaze, like in the stars, or as a mirror. A seer is someone who inspects. They gaze at the stars. They look into the heavenly mirror above. Job 37:18, have you with him spread out the sky, which is strong, and as a molten looking glass? Teach us what we shall say unto him, for we cannot order our speech by reason of darkness. 1 Corinthians 13:12, for now we see through a glass, darkly, but then face to face. Revelation 4:6, and before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal. It's through his prophets, his seers, those who midrash, who seek and inquire, that he reveals his plans to. To reveal is a revelation or a revelation. It's an unveiling, a pulling back of the curtain. Hosea 12:10 says, for I have spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions, and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. 12:13, for by a prophet Yahweh brought Israel out of Mitzrayim, out of Egypt, and by a prophet he was guarded. There are many different records of prophets or nabis within the scriptures. 2 Chronicle 9:29, now the rest of the acts of Solomon from the first to last. Are they not written in the history of Nathan the prophet, the nabi, and in the prophecy of Ahijah the Shilonite, and in the visions of Edu the seer concerning Jeroboam the son of Nebat? The word seer here is kozeh, and we get the word chosen from. The word Edu is Jedi, with the yod added to the ayin and the dalet yod. A Jedi is appointed. They are chosen. They are chosen to see. The wise men look into the looking glass above and they can see the story. They are the master Jedi. Genesis 3:22, and Yahweh Elohim said, behold, the man is become as one of us, to know Yada, good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. The word Yada is to perceive, to see, to find out and discern, to know by experience. The master Jedi, the Yoda. In Sanskrit, it means warrior. The Hebrew Yodia is one who knows. The Hebrew name Yadiah means to have the knowledge of God. To know something can be understood in two different ways. You can know something by perceiving it. You can have head knowledge of something. Or you can know something by experiencing it. Adam and Eve didn't just perceive the evil, but they experienced it. Yahweh in his foreknowledge knew that Adam and Eve would sin, and that redemption would be required from the foundation of the heavens and the earth. Genesis 3:15 says, and I will put enmity between you and the woman, Virgo, and between your seed and her seed, Spica. It shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. Eve's seed, her descendants, against the seed of the serpent, the dragon, Leviathan. This story of a hero who would defeat the dragon and rescue his bride, the damsel in distress, is told in the stars above and has been repackaged and retold in various ways by various cultures and religion throughout history. All the world since the beginning of time has been looking for a type of Superman, a hero, to rescue them. We see these characters in our modern culture and throughout our religions. Haggai 2:6-7, it talks about the desire of all nations shall come. Throughout history, many kings and pharaohs have declared themselves as God in the flesh or sons of God. One of these characters within the Bible is that of Nimrod, who is called a mighty warrior, a great hunter. Nimrod is a counterfeit, likely portrayed in the story of Gilgamesh. He's trying to be the seed of the woman. He wants to be the Son of God, to sit on Yah's throne. Isaiah speaks of a mighty one that will rule forever, an El Gibor, one from everlasting to everlasting. Nimrod built the city of Babel, which is the land of confusion, where they tried to build a tower to ascend into heaven. There's an intersection where a stream empties out of the Jordan River, and it's called the Jabbok, like that of jibber jabber. It's a foolishness or it's worthless talk, like the confusion of Babel. The enemy forces are operating in a world of confusion and twisting in words and meanings like a winding serpent. Another one of those counterfeits is Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. His downfall was his ego. It got the best of him. Isaiah 14:12-14. How you have fallen from heaven, O Hail, son of the howling morning. How are you cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? For you have said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of El. I will sit also upon the mount of the assembly, in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like El Elyon, the Most High. Just as in the Tower of Babel with Nimrod trying to break into heaven with Nebuchadnezzar, and those who attempt to ascend into heaven today by their own might will surely fail because they do not know the way, the path to take. The truth is, man doesn't get to decide. It's Yah who picks his chosen ones. Written in the story above, we see that many cultures and religions followed suit and promoted their own great and mighty ones. They know the story of the Great One. We see throughout history that Orion is portrayed as the Great One who comes. Orion is the hunter, as Nimrod promoted himself as the great and mighty hunter. Orion is made up of three main stars. Betelgeuse is the giant's shoulder. Regal Rosh Gimel Lamed is like a leader walking with the staff, a regal king. It's on his foot of the giant. Bellatrix is the conqueror. Orion is the giant, the hunter, and the warrior, admired in all historic ages as the most strikingly brilliant of the stellar groups. Many believe that the pyramids in Egypt were specifically designed and engineered to line up with Orion's belt. Isaiah 19:19, In that day there shall be an altar to Yahweh in the midst of the land of Mitzrayim, Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof to Yahweh. And it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto Yahweh Sevaoth, and to the stars, in the land of Mitzrayim. For they shall cry unto El Yahweh because of the oppressors, and he shall send them a Savior, and a great one, and he shall deliver them. Approximately 80 pyramids were built within the kingdom of Kush, now located in the modern country of Sudan. Of those located in modern Egypt, most were built as tombs for the country's pharaohs and their consorts during the Old and Middle Kingdom periods. One of the pillars we find in Egypt is the Karnak obelisk, and on it is inscribed, Lord of the Gods. The pharaohs and many of the world's religions believe contrary to the scriptures in that there is a life after death, and that somehow they can still make it to heaven after death. But death is the antithesis of life. It's the curse, the enemy, and it's not to be a welcomed friend. Many are oblivious of the fact that the nations are under the power and authority of the forces of darkness. But those in power are aware of our dire situation and attempt to be like the Most High in an effort to dethrone him from our consciousness. Psalm 91 says, Because you have made Yahweh, which is my refuge, even El Elyon, the Most High, your habitation. There shall no evil befall you, neither shall any plague come near you, nor your dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over you, to guard you in all your ways. They shall bear you up in their hands, lest you dash your foot against a stone. You shall tread upon the lion and adder, the young lion and the dragon shall you trample under feet. Yah sits in the most high seat of creation, and gives orders to his army of angels as guardians of the galaxy, guarding and guiding our direct, our path, our way that we should go. In Judges 5:20 it says, they fought from heaven. The stars in their courses fought against Sisera. Deuteronomy 32:8, when the Most High divided the nations, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the nations according to the number of the angels of Elohim. When Yah divided the nations at Babel, all nations were put under the power and authority of his angels. They were given charge, orders, but Yah leaving only those from the line of Seth for himself. According to Josephus in his book regarding Seth, it says that he did leave behind him who imitated his virtues. They also were the inventors of that peculiar sort of wisdom which is concerned with the heavenly bodies. It says that Seth made 2 pillars, one of brick and one of stone. In Scripture and throughout the world we see massive structures built, pillars set up, and stone gateways and hinges put into place with guardians, all with the idea of entering into heaven or some type of spiritual realm. Were all of these built as some type of gateway, some type of portal into heaven? In Genesis 15:5, Abraham was told to look toward the heavens and to count the stars. He said, so shall your seed be. The word count is safar, is to scribe like in a book, a heavenly book. Abraham left the land of Babel to start his own nation. He was told to look up at the story and see the future glory. The story of the redemptive seed was there written in the heavens before Abraham existed, and Abraham was glad to see his day, and that was portrayed and written in the heavens. The Mashiach says in John 8:56, your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it, and was glad. Verse 58, Yahushua said unto them, Amen, amen, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am he whose day he saw, written in the stars of heaven above, the story of this great and mighty one. From the seed of Abraham would come this hero of all nations. Jacob had a dream and set up stones. Genesis 28:11 through 13. And he lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. And he took of the stones of that place and put them for his pillows, and lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of Elohim, ascending and descending on it. And behold, Yahweh stood above it and said, I am Yahweh Elohai of Abraham your father, and the Elohai of Yitzhak, the land wherein you lie. To you will I give it, and to your seed. Verse 17, and he was afraid and said, how dreadful is this place! This is none other but the house of Elohim, and this is the gate of heaven. And Yaakov rose early in the morning, and took the stone, and he put it for his pillows, and set it up for a pillar, and poured oil upon the top of it, and he called the name of that place Bet-El. But the name of that city was called Luz at the first. Jacob says that this is the gate of heaven, that it's in Bethel, which means the house of El. Bethlehem means house of bread. The wheat shown in Virgo's hand, where the seed would come from. Could this be why people think this land is so holy and precious? Is there a gateway to David, as a prototype of this hero, is said to be from Bethlehem, called the city of David, and is also referred to as where Zion is. 2 Samuel 23:15, and David longed and said, Oh, that one would give me drink of the water, Aquarius, of the well of Bethlehem, which is by the star gate. 2 Samuel 5:7. Nevertheless, David took the stronghold of Zion. The name of the city is David. Psalm 76:2 says, And Shalem also is his tabernacle and his dwelling place in Sion. Zion, comes from the word Siyun, which is a signpost, a monument, or a market. It was prophesied that out of Jacob a star would come. Numbers 24, when Balaam saw that it pleased Yahweh to bless Israel, he did not go, as at the other times, to look for omens, but set his face toward the wilderness. And Balaam lifted up his eyes, and saw Israel camping tribe by tribe. And the spirit of Elohim came upon him. Verse 5, How lovely are your tents, O Jacob, your encampments, O Israel. Verse 7, Water shall flow from his buckets, like Aquarius, and his seed shall be in many waters. His king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. Verse 17, I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. A star shall come out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel. It shall crush the forehead of Moab, and break down all the sons of Sheth. As Aquarius is portrayed in the heavens, so too shall this promised seed pour out rivers of living waters upon Yah's people. Remember the wise men, the seers, the stargazers, how they came from the east and said, We have seen his star? Another one of these stars that we see in the Bible is that of Joseph. Joseph and many others in the Bible are types of mighty men who do great exploits. We see here a prophetic shadow picture of him having authority over all the stars. Genesis 37:9, And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it his brethren, and said, Behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. 44 verse 15, And Joseph said unto them, What deed is this that ye have done? Know ye not that such a man as I can certainly divine? Joseph says he can divine. Divine is often translated as enchantment. It's where we get the word incantation from. Incantation comes directly from the Latin word incantare, enchant, which means to enchant. Reminds us of this magic and the ritual that's always been associated with chanting and music. The occult uses these types of methods. Occult is simply ocular, means vision. It's knowledge of the hidden. Those of the occult use their eyes. They use incantation as a way to summon their spirits and or cast spells on people, blessings and curses. They're just calling on the wrong deities, just as many in the faith do today. To divine is to call upon or invoke a deity. One form of biblical interpretation from a Kabbalist perspective is known as pardes, which means orchard. An orchard is a garden, kind of like the Garden of Eden. Heaven, in Hebrew thought, is analogous to the head. It's up there. It's on top. Some rabbis have claimed to ascend to heaven by invoking the divine name. In John 17:26, the Mashiach says, I have declared unto them your name. Throughout the scriptures, we see many references to the prophets going up, ascending to the mountaintops. One understanding of ascension is to penetrate the seals of the heavenly mysteries. Many of the prophets are recorded as ascending or going up, seeing, having visions, and looking to the heavens at the story written in the stars as they prophesy and see the divine celestial temple. Isaiah 1:1 says that Isaiah, has a vision, the Kosa. 6:1, In the year that King Uzziyahu died, I saw Ra'ah, also Adonai, sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple of heaven. Isaiah, being a chosen one, was given access to the throne room in heaven to see what is taking place. It It was given to him to warn those false prophets from the forces of darkness. Those that call upon the wrong deities, they only wear themselves out. Isaiah 47:13 says, "You are wearied with your many counsels. Let them stand forth and save you, those who divide the heavens, who gaze at the stars, who at the new months or new moons make known what shall come upon you." This word known, translated in the King James, is prognosticators. Pro meaning for, gnostic meaning foreknowledge. Isaiah 34:4, "And all the host, the stars of heaven, shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, a sefer, and all their host shall fall down as the leaf falls off from the vine, and as a fallen fig from the fig tree." Micah is another prophet of Yah. In chapter 3, verses 5 through 7, "Thus says Yahweh concerning the prophets, that make my people err, that bite with their teeth and cry, Peace! And he that puts not into their mouths, they even prepare war against him. Therefore night, when the stars are visible, shall be unto you, that ye shall not have a vision. And it shall be dark unto you, that ye shall not divine, and the sun shall go down over the prophets, and the day shall be dark over them. Then shall the seers be ashamed, and the diviners confounded. Yea, they shall all cover their lips, for there is no answer of Elohim." Because of the sins of the people, those seeking after the Elohim Akrim, the other gods, he has sealed his visions to most. Only his chosen prophets are able to unlock the mysteries in the heavens. Ezekiel, who is also another archetype of the Messiah, says that the heavens were opened and that he saw visions of Elohim. And he said unto me, Son of man, lift up thine eyes to the heavens. It said of Daniel that Elohim gave him knowledge and skill in all learning, sephering, and wisdom. And Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. He could understand and interpret the writing on the wall. In chapter 7, Daniel says, I saw in the night visions while looking at the stars, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him, and there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. Who is this Son of Man in the vision that Daniel had? Note that a heavenly vision is not necessarily an actual event taking place right then and there, but it is a future event that will take place. Daniel 12:3-4, and they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the expanse, and they that turn to many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. But you, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the Sefer, seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and the knowledge shall be increased. Verse 9, and he said, Go your way, Daniel, for the words written in the heavenly scroll are closed up and sealed till the time of the end. The words, the story written in the heavens are sealed to those who follow the beast and its systems. They do not know who the Son of Man is. They are in Babel. They are in confusion. They have made Elohim Akrim for themselves. They have turned man into gods. They worship the creation over the Creator. They follow the sun and the moon and the stars, and they make gods out of them. Enoch 46:1-4, and there I saw one who had a head of days, and his head was white like wool, and with him was a second whose countenance was like the appearance of a man, and his countenance was full of agreeableness, like one of the holy angels. And I asked one of the angels, who went with me and who showed me all the secrets concerning the Son of Man, who he was, and whence he was, and why goes he with the head of days? And he answered and said to me, This is the Son of Man, who has justice, and justice dwells with him, and all the treasures of secrecy he reveals, because the Lord of spirits has chosen him, and and his portion overcomes all things before the Lord of the spirits in rectitude to eternity. And this Son of Man, whom thou hast seen, will arouse the kings and mighty from their couches, and the strong from their thrones, and will loosen the bands of the strong, and will break the teeth of sinners. In him are hidden all the treasures of wisdom. As it states in Colossians, this is the Son of Man, treasures of secrecy, because Yah has chosen him. Enoch, as he ascends to heaven, he breaks the seals and is able to enter the throne room of Yah. In Psalms 8:4-6 says, "What is man, that you are mindful of him, and the Son of Man, that you visit him? For you have made him a little lower than Elohim, and have crowned him with glory and honor. You made him to have dominion over the works of your hands. You have put all things under his feet." How awesome is it that Yah would choose a Son of Man, a human being, to inherit his throne? This is truly a huge deal. Psalms 80, verse 14-17, David, a Mashiach, anointed one, says, "Turn again, O Elohim of hosts, look down from heaven and see. Have regard for this vine, the stock that your right hand planted, and for the son whom you made strong for yourself. They have burned it with fire, they have cut it down. May they perish at the rebuke of your face. But let your hand be on the man of your right hand, the Son of Man, whom you have made strong for yourself." David again, Psalm 89:19. "Then you spoke in a vision to your lovingly committed one, and you said, I have given help to one who is mighty. I have exalted one chosen from the people. I also appoint him firstborn, highest of the sovereigns, the kings of the earth. His seed shall be forever, and his throne as the sun before me." When a king reads these verses as part of his training in his kingship, he would read them as if they applied to him as a king, as the Mashiach does. Every good soldier in training for this battle that we are in knows of their inheritance. The Apostle Paul speaks of our family inheritance as sons of Elohim. He too, as a good soldier and knight, is able to unlock the mysteries. In Ephesians 2:6-7 says, "And he has raised us up together, and made us sit together in heavenly places in Mashiach Yahusha, that in the ages to come he might show the exceeding riches of his grace and his kindness toward us through Mashiach Yahusha." He says in Colossians 1:25 that he was made a minister according to the stewardship of Elohim, which is given to him to fulfill the word of Elohim, even the mystery which has been hid from ages and from generations, but now has been made manifest to his Kodashim, to his saints. Sometimes we don't realize what a big deal this is, how Yah's plan has unfolded throughout the ages, to have us no longer under the authority of the evil and dark forces. It is with much regret that Israel and all the nations have turned from the truth and went about seeking visions from other gods, from the gods of the nations, and there in turn were blinded because of their sin. Isaiah 29:10-11 says, "For Yahweh has poured out on you the spirit of deep sleep, and has closed your eyes, the prophets, and he has covered your heads, the seers, and the entire vision is to you like the words of a book that is sealed, which men give to one who knows books, saying, Read this, please. And he said, I am unable, for it is sealed." There is only one chosen person in Scripture who is said to have ascended and is worthy to break the seals of the heavenly scroll. That person is revealed to us by John in the book of Revelation. The book of Revelation paints a vivid picture for us of the heavenly scroll and the Son of Man who is able to unlock the seals. Chapter 1, verse 12-13, "And I turned to see the voice that spake with me. And being turned, I saw 7 golden menorahs, stars, like lights inside the temple of heaven. And in the midst of the 7 menorahs, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and a girt about his chest with a golden belt like that of Orion. Verse 16, in his right hand he held 7 stars. From his mouth came a sharp two-edged sword, and his face was like the sun, shining in full strength. It's likely that's because that's where the sun was located at the time he was having this vision as he looked up into the heavens. In Ezekiel 8, we see similar imagery. It says, then I looked, and behold, a form that had the appearance of a man. Below that appeared to be his waist was fire, like Orion's belt, and above his waist was something like the appearance of brightness, like gleaming metal. He put out the form of a hand, and took me by a lock of my head, and the Spirit lifted me up between the earth and heaven, and brought me in visions of Elohim to Jerusalem, to the entrance of the gateway of the inner court that faces north, where was the seat of the image of jealousy, which provokes to jealousy. And behold, the glory of Elohim of Israel was there, like the vision that I saw in the valley. Then he said to me, Son of man, lift up your eyes now toward the north. So I lifted up my eyes towards heaven, toward the north, and behold, north of the altar gate in the entrance was the image of jealousy. See, Israel had made an image and replaced Yah for the image of jealousy, as did all nations who ended up worshiping some type of God-man. An interesting tidbit is that in Numbers chapter 5 is the law of jealousy regarding the adulterous bride. There was a curse placed on her if she was found guilty. There's a lot of language in the Bible about Israel being an adulterous bride, how she went a-whoring after other gods and goddesses. This is the curse that the Messiah took upon himself for the adultery and the sins of the people. If we continue in Revelation chapter 4 with John, it says, after this I looked, and behold, a gate was opening in the heavens, which is where the stars are. And the first voice which I heard was as it were a shofar talking with me, which said, Come up hither, and I will show you things which must be hereafter. And immediately I was in the Ruach, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. If we look into heaven, into the north, who do we see sitting on the throne? We see Cephas and his wife Cassiopeia. In Isaiah, we read that Adonai's train filled the temple. Though the word train could be from a priestly robe, it is interesting that it was translated as train, as in what a bride would wear. Most weddings take place in a temple. Job 37:22, we see out of the north comes golden splendor. Aloha is clothed with awesome majesty. Job 38:29, out of whose womb came the ice, and the hoary frost of heaven, who has gendered it? The Hebrew word Aloha is feminine, as is Ruach. It's said that mankind was made in his image, male and female. Elohim made them. Elohim is plural, yet Elohim is one, Echad, as a husband and wife are one. So is it so far stretched to think that there is a father and a son, and that there wouldn't be also a mother? Wasn't Lady Wisdom there in the beginning, personified as a woman? Are these two, the yin, the yang, the sun, the moon, the counterbalancing forces that the world's religions idolize? The Hebrew word Shaddai is rooted in the word Shaddad, meaning to destroy, and Shad, which means breast. Could this be where these cultures get these ideas of Shiva the Destroyer and the Queen of Heaven from, with her many breasts? We live in a world of feminism, transgenders, and a push for the matriarch rule. In Acts we read that the Ephesians and all the world worship Diana. It's said that she fell from Jupiter. Jupiter, which is Zeus, is the head god in Greek mythology. This matriarch idea is representative of the adulterous bride throughout Scripture. Again, the world takes these ideas and repackages them. Diana is just Artemis, who is Astarte, who is Ishtar, who is Ashtaroth, which is said to be a star, worshipped in war and fertility. It's said in Jeremiah 7:18 that the children gather wood and the fathers kindle the fire, and the women knead their dough to make sacrificial wafers to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto other Elohim, that they may provoke me to anger. Certain legends have Cassiopeia portrayed as Deborah, who is a female judge in Israel. Deborah means bee. It's as if many are desiring to be the queen bee. We are in an epic battle for all ages, a battle for knowledge and truth. It's said that the Ruach, the Spirit, is described as wind, its power, it's a force to be reckoned with. The forces of good and evil, light and dark are all around us. A young Jedi warrior must be vigilant and follow the ancient paths to be able to unlock these mysteries. This ancient path is displayed for us in the Mazzaroth. Job 38, the waters of heaven are hid as with a stone, and the face of the deep is frozen. Can you bind the sweet influences of Pleiades, or loose the bands of Orion? Can you bring forth the Mazzaroth in his season? Or can you guide Arcturus and with his sons? Know you the ordinances of heaven? Can you set the dominion thereof in the earth? The word Mazzaroth, or Mazzarah, is rooted in the word Nazar, like a Nazarite, or Nazarene, someone who is set apart for a purpose. A Nazarene is a follower of the branch of the ancient paths, and they can tread and walk the path of the zodiac. We get the word zoo from zodiac, which is a circle of animals. They are the many eyes surrounding the throne. In Isaiah 40 verse 22, it is he that establishes the circle or the circuit, the chug of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as locust, that stretches out the heavens as a curtain, and spreads them out as a tabernacle to dwell in. Exodus 12:14. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep the Shagag. It is a feast, a Chag, to Yahweh. Throughout your generations ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. So the circle is the ecliptic circuit. The sun travels above the earth. Yahweh's people are commanded to Shagag, or do a circular dance during his Moedim. The path that circles above us each night, showing us the way of who we should follow, of when we should follow during the Moedim, as is a dress rehearsal on earth, so that we can be ready and present at the heavenly wedding. Revelation 5:1-2, and I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a Sefer, written within and on the backside, sealed with 7 seals or stars. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, Who is worthy to open the Sefer, to loose the seals thereof? In classical antiquity, the 7 classical planets, or 7 luminaries, are 7 moving astronomical objects in the visible sky by the naked eye. That's the moon, the Mercury, Venus, the sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. The word planet comes from wandering or wanderer, as it treads across the heavens. The 7 moving planets or stars, the 7 stars of Pleiades, the 7 stars of Orion that light up the night sky like a menorah in the heavenly temple above, they all follow the way. They follow a path, a circuit, the ecliptic. All of these are just different ideas and concepts to illustrate for us Yah's kingdom. In Revelation 5:7-8 says that the Son of Man came and took the scepter out of the right hand of him that sat on the throne. And when he had taken the scepter, the 4 living creatures and 24 elders, which are represented by stars, fell down. They bowed before Aries, the Lamb, having every one of them Kethara, and the golden vials full of odors, which are the prayers of the Kodashim. Revelation is the revealing. It tells us who the Son of Man is, who the Mashiach is, the one who is worthy, the one who is that mighty Gabor, the mighty one of Yah, that can defeat the dragon and bring down his forces. He said that we would see him with his angels in the cloud. Well, we see this in Revelation chapter 5, 9-12, and they sung a new song saying, "You are worthy to take the scepter and to open the seals thereof. For you were slain and have redeemed us to Elohim by your blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, and have made unto us our Elohim kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. And I beheld, and I heard the voice of many angels, or stars, round about the throne, and the living creatures and the elders, and the number of them was 10,000 times 10,000, and thousands of stars, saying with a loud voice, Worthy is the Lamb, Aries, that was slain to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory. For all the stars did obeisance to him." It's the Messiah of the New Testament who is this El Gabor, the desire of all nations, Yahushua HaMashiach, Yah's anointed. Many are still looking for an earthly Messiah to come and build an earthly temple, but Yah had bigger plans. He made his anointed to sit in the temple of heaven to rule the heavenly court, as the sun rules the day, the light. John 1:49, Nathanael answered and said unto him, Rabbi, you are the son of Elohim. You are the king of Yisrael. Yahushua answered and said unto him, Because I said unto you, I saw you under the fig tree, you believe? You shall see greater things than these. And he said unto him, Amen, amen, I say unto you, hereafter you shall see heaven open, and the angels of Elohim ascending and descending upon the Son of Man. Just as we saw the angels ascending and descending on the ladder with Jacob, the ladder is a way. All the stars have a way, a course they follow along the ecliptic. To follow the way, the Son of Man, is to follow the Moedim in preparation for the wedding. What leads the way is the sun, which is as a bridegroom going through each chamber or each constellation. He says, I go away to prepare a place for you, for in my Father's house are many mansions, many chambers, many constellations. The word sun, S-O-N, actually comes from the word sun, S-U-N. Psalms 19:4, a tabernacle for the sun, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber and rejoices as a strong man to run a race. Following the sun as it makes its circuit through each chamber of the Mazzaroth, we recognize the biblical feast and the appointed Moedim. It's the sun that brings light to the world. John 8:12, Then spoke Yahushua again unto him, saying, I am the light of the world. He that follows me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. We too are light bearers with our lightsabers. John 12:36, While you have the light, believe in the light, that you may become sons of light. When Yahushua said these things, he departed and hid himself from them. 1 Thessalonians 5:5, For ye are all sons of light, and sons of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness. When the light shines in the heart of man, of who the Son of Man is, who the Son of Elohim is, that darkness cannot stand. It cannot comprehend the light. There are 7 biblical Moedim, appointed feasts in the Bible. These 7 appointed feasts tell the story of the bridegroom who lays down his life. In Pesach, we see that the husband pays the dowry and gives up his life for the bride. On unleavened bread, the wife prepares herself for the wedding day. It's a cleansing, like a losing weight in preparation for her wedding. Shavuot is entering into the covenant. It's the I do's. And then the king leaves off for battle to fight the dragon. Yom Teruah is the Feast of Trumpets when the king returns from battle. Yom Kippur is the Day of Atonement, or the day at one mint. Husband and bride become one and consummate the marriage, tearing the veil. The virgin bleeds. The Sukkot is the husband and wife that go off to their honeymoon, forever tabernacling together. This hero that goes off to battle is the king's right-hand man. His son would be the first in line for the throne. Isaiah 51:9, Awake, awake, put on strength, O arm of Yahweh. Awake, as in the ancient days, in the generations of old. Are you not it that has cut Rechov and wounded the dragon? Acts 7:56, and said, Behold, I see the heavens opened, and the Son of Man standing on the right hand of Elohim. The right hand of the king is simply an extension of himself. It means it's how he gets things done. It's a big deal that this honor was given to a son of man, which simply just means a human being. He didn't choose any of his angels with power and authority to rule over his kingdom. He chose a man. He didn't choose some god or some angel or some other type of deity. He chose a human being. Hebrews 1 says, has in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he has appointed heir of all things, through whom also he made the ages, who being the brightness of his glory and the express image of his person, and upholding all things by the word of his power, when he had by himself purged our sins, sat down on the right hand of the majesty on high, being made so much better than the angels, as he has by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they. For unto which of the angels said he at any time, You are my son, this day I have begotten you? And again, I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son. It says that he inherited a more excellent name, the name above all names. It's at the family name that all knees shall bow, whether in heaven or on earth. All ages, ions, were predestined and created for mankind to rule. We were commanded to have dominion. Matthew 6:13, he prays, And lead us not into the evil inclination, but deliver us from the outer darkness. For yours is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever, throughout all ages. Those in outer darkness, still under the power of the angels, don't know the Mashiach. They don't know who it is that is blinding them because of their unbelief. The enemy only has power over those who allow him to have power and authority over them. Our salvation comes through the way, the story that tells of the redemptive plan, the Logos, the Word, the Dabar that Yah had in his mind, in his foreknowledge, in his forethought. Isaiah 62 says, Go through the gates of heaven. Prepare ye the way of the people. Cast up or ascend to the highway, the staircase. Gather out the stones. Lift up a standard, a sign in the stars above the people. Behold, Yahweh has proclaimed unto the end of the world. Say ye to the daughter of Zion, Behold, your Yeshua comes. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. And they shall call them the holy people, the redeemed of Yahweh. And you shall be called, sought out, a city not forsaken. Most of the world has lost this knowledge of the ancient path of the way. They follow the woman, the moon, instead of the sun, or some counterfeit version of the sun, to keep their feast and celebrations. Jeremiah 18:15, because my people have forgotten me. They have burned incense to vanity, and they have caused them to stumble in their ways from the ancient paths, to walk in paths in a way not cast up. In John 3:12, we see the Messiah talking to a rabbi, a teacher. He says, "If I have told you earthly things, and you believe not, how shall ye believe if I tell you of heavenly things? And no one has ascended up to heaven, but he that comes down out of heaven." And this is in the future at the resurrection. "Even the Son of Man, which is the one we see portrayed as Orion in heaven. And as Moshe lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Adam, the Son of Man, be lifted up. He will be resurrected and ascend to heaven, so that he can return." He says the Son of Man is in heaven. Clearly, he's there having a conversation with Nicodemus, so obviously he's not in heaven. But the Son of Man is portrayed as Orion, told in the story of redemption in heaven. Mashiach is alluding to the character, inferring that it is he from heaven who will come back and raise us up, as he speaks here proleptically. In Mark 13:26 he says, "In those days after that tribulation, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars of heaven shall fall, as they appear on the horizon, and the powers that are in the heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man, Orion, coming in the clouds with the great power and glory. And then shall he send his angels." Angels are stars that deliver a message. "And shall gather together his elect during Moedim, from the four winds, from the uttermost part of the earth to the uttermost part of heaven." He is making the claim that it is he who is the chosen, the appointed one, that all nations have been looking for, that Yah chose him to fulfill the role in the heavenly scroll, and not all those other unrighteous counterfeits before him. He's alluding that he is the one that is told in the story, the one who walks the sky, the true skywalker, the Mashiach, the anointed, the swimmer in the waters above. Orion is the one who slays the bull, the Taurus. All nations agree that he is the mightiest hunter in the world. The best time to see the Son of Man returning is around the time of the biblical fall and winter feast of trumpets. It's when the king returns on the clouds during the latter rains. Haggai 2:4-7, "Yet now be strong, O Zerubbabel, says Yahweh, and be strong, O Yahusha, son of Yehutzadek, the high priest, and be strong, all ye people of the land, says Yahweh, and work, for I am with you, says Yahweh Sevaoth, according to the word that I covenanted with you when ye came out of Mitzrayim, out of Egypt. So my Ruach remains among you. Fear ye not, for thus says Yahweh Sevaoth, yet once it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens and the earth, and the sea, and the dry land, and I will shake all nations, and the desire of all nations shall come, and I will fill this house with my glory, says Yahweh Sevaoth." The heavens declare the glory. They tell the story of the one who would come. Revelation 22, "I, Yahusha, have sent my angel to testify unto you these things in the called out assemblies. I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright star rising in the morning. And the Ruach and the bride say, Come. And let him that hears say, Come. And let him that is athirst come. And whoever will, let him take the water of life freely." Aquarius pours out rivers of living water. As we enter the dawn of this new age, more knowledge and truth is being exposed and coming out. Habakkuk 3:13, "You went forth for the salvation of your people, even for salvation with your Mashiach, You wounded the head out of the house of the wicked by discovering the foundation unto the neck. John 16:13, of judgment, because the prince of this world is judged. The dragon and his forces of darkness have been defeated. Judgment has been passed, and the serpent has been found guilty, and has no authority over the people of Yah when they follow the Son and obey the Father's commandments. They are no longer enslaved to sin. 1 Corinthians 15:22 through 26. The end will come. For as in Adam all die, even so in Mashiach shall all be made alive. But every man in his own order. Mashiach the firstfruits, afterward they that are Mashiach's at his coming. Then comes the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to Elohim, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power. For he must reign till he has put all enemies under his feet. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. The Master Jedis, the ones who know the truth, who dispel darkness with the light and knowledge of the Son, and how Yah's plan of redemption unfolds throughout all the ages, they are the ones who conquer. They are the El Gabors, the mighty ones. All powers in heaven and earth must submit to the King if they want to take part in the kingdom. Our hope is for that glorious day, for our Mashiach, the husband, the warrior, the mighty man who paid the dowry price, laying down his life for the bride, who is off to battle and to defeat the dragon, that he will one day return to rescue his bride, to bring her into the family, where they will inherit the family name and tabernacle together forever. What a wonderful love story the Father has written for us in the heavenly scroll. His love letter in the pages of the Bible tells us of his plan of redemption, that he's willing to give his best for us. So we as young Jedi warriors should be willing to do our all for him and his kingdom. If you like this video, please share, please like, please comment down below. I love you. May Yah bless and keep you. Shalom.